Guinness, respect. Come back to me. Yeah, I play Arthur Guinness, who's he'd much rather be in London, having the crack, drinking, shagging, and unfortunately he has to come back and run the Guinness brewery, which is something that he doesn't want to do.
Was he a character who, like, I guess, growing up in Ireland, do you have a familiarity with him, but then did you just learn so many more layers to him as you researched his character?
I mean, I knew a wee bit about the family, but I didn't know too much about this. I knew Arthur Guinness, his namesake, which is grandfather, but I didn't know too much about him himself. And that was the joy of Stephen's writing, you know, getting to learn a wee bit about the family and getting to learn a bit about Irish history more and more, and yeah, loved it.
I'm going to make an admission. The first work of yours that I saw you in was Master of the Air.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you were Irish.
Oh, yeah.
Until I started doing research, like, oh, damn, how wonderful to then star in a show and be your natural self. Although you definitely do an accent work with this as well, but it's nice to be an Irish man at least.
Yeah, thanks for that. I love Masters of Air. It's such good fun shooting it. I mean, I had to do a bit of an accent for this because, you know, Arthur is someone who sort of renounces his Irishness and doesn't want to be Irish and is trying to sort of quell that down and sort of reach off to the British Isles and embrace the sort of Englishness of it. Yeah, I had a lot of fun shooting it. It was good crack.
Talk about some of your co-stars. Like, I've loved the camaraderie amongst all of you, specifically the siblings as well. Was there any work done in rehearsals to, like, kind of inform your relationships, or was it just turn up on set?
I mean, to be fair, lad, I don't really like doing a lot of chatting to the other actor and being like, oh, where did you grow up and what was it like when you were 5 years old? I think it's better when you just meet each other on screen and you're just, I don't know what the other actor's going to bring and I just bring something and suddenly we're just doing it. But we've done a lot of, we've done some rehearsals with the siblings and it was good. And we also got drunk a lot off set. There was a lot of Guinness people in Liverpool, which is essentially the 33rd county of Ireland. So we had a lot of crack drinking, having fun, and a lot of sibling bonds were formed.
So I love to hear that you had Guinness at the end of the day as well, because there's no such thing as Guinness fatigue, is there? Like, you know, you're talking about it all day, you see it all day. At the end of the day, you're still going to go home and have a little Guinness on you.
Yeah, I'm feeling it right now. Me and Stephen Knight had a couple of Guinness before this.
Have you seen them all lined up downstairs? There's a pyramid of Guinness ready for you.
I haven't seen it, no. We went to a bar facing the hotel called The Lyric, which is a great wee bar, and we had a few pints, and yeah, it's got me in the mood to talk to people about the show.
Wonderful. And finally, from me, what are we going to look forward to you in next? Obviously, we want a second season of House of Guinness. We all do. But what else are we working on at the moment?
I'm doing a thing right now called The Altruists. It'll be out on Netflix next year. It's me and Julia Garner, who is the best actress in the world. I'm shooting out in Vancouver at the minute. And then I got a film coming out, Enda Walsh. Wrote this film, Cloud Bernard directed it. It'll come out next year as well. And then just hopefully more Guinness-related shows. Or most shows that can give me money that I can spend on Guinness.
Oh, wonderful.
Whatever the answer should be.
Sorry, it's me. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for your time. I've missed you like 3 times.
Yeah.
People keep taking you away from me.
Nah, it's great. Let's do it.
Hey, welcome. Oh, we're good? Welcome to London for the House of Guinness premiere. Please, tell us about your character and where they fit into the story of House of Guinness, because it's a very complicated premise, essentially, isn't it?
Yes, I play Edward Guinness, who's the youngest son of the Guinness family, and the brewery gets passed down to him and his brother to run. His brother doesn't want to run it, I really want to run it. I am obsessed with it. I live and breathe the brewery and I want to be in the world and I want to grow it, and I'm very ambitious and I'm constantly pulled down to earth by my brother who keeps messing things up. And I'm very frustrated at him the whole show.
Can I just say, sir, you have range, because the last time I spoke to you was for Pistol, where you were really? Sid Vicious.
Wow.
To go from that to this is a very different tone, I guess, essentially, as well.
Yeah.
How do you enter the world of being a Guinness heir?
Wow, that's mad. That was a long time ago. Thank you. Honestly, I think a costume has a lot to do with it. First of all, accent also plays into it. And when you're learning the accent, you learn like a mouth posture, essentially, which plays into your physicality. Similarly, when I was playing Sid Vicious in Pistol, it's completely different. He was throwing things away, he was snarling, and that all feeds into kind of subconsciously the way you stand and inhabit your body. Throw the clothes on there and it really changes things. So I was wearing a stiff collar, I was wearing a suit a bit like this and big coats and hats, and it was all proper, and you just had to stand up straight and be quite, just proper. So it does a lot of the work for you, is what I'm trying to say, the clothes.
That was a masterclass in mouth acting that I just saw.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that education. Obviously, you said it's like calling the mouth into the close to get into your character, but when you are working with an accent, do you have like a phrase to get you into it, or can you just kind of pick it up and go with it these days?
Yeah, usually it is helpful to have a phrase. I don't think I had a phrase for this one. This accent, because the Sid Vicious accent took me a long old time. I really struggled with it, really. Up until we were shooting, I didn't have it, I was really stressed out. This one was a smooth ride and I loved it, and I didn't need to try too hard or spend too much time figuring it out. Partly because I was surrounded by a lot of people who live and come from Dublin, so I think I had my ear in a bit more.
Tell me about like your Guinness habits pre and post this project. Are you now a convert, or were you previously sold on already?
I was a big Guinness fan before, but now I have a sense of pride when it comes to Guinness, which wasn't there, and I feel like I'm on the inside of the joke. As someone who can say something about it, you know, I may not be Irish, but I'm in a blooming show called House of Guinness.
And do you go into pubs now and be like, oh, that's a good Guinness, that's a bad Guinness?
Oh yeah, all the time. And they were serving one here. Not the best.
Cross my fingers for you in the championship. You know, I got money on you to get promoted this year too.
Really?
So if you could do that for me, that'd be great.
It's a good bet.
Get in there. Hey, congratulations on what is sure to be a success with the House of Guinness. Please tell me about your Irish roots. Do you have any family history there, or are you pure
God, yeah.
Brummie?
I mean, like most people from any urban environment in England, of course, yeah, I've got lots of Irish roots. But this is about people, you know, whether you're Irish or not Irish, this is about people who live the life. And the Guinness family are so extraordinary in that they are wealthy and successful, but they keep making the same mistakes we all make, which is what makes them so identifiable.
Yeah. I saw you state that what a great place to start a drama, that being like with a death and with the reading of a will, which will change 4 lives forever. What sparked that idea? Did you come to the Guinness family first, or was that kind of a residual idea that
I mean, I was invited to look at the history of the Guinness family, and all the way through from the very beginning, from the origin myth of, you know, people say that somebody fell asleep and the barley got burnt, and that's why. No one knows if that's true, but all along the way there is this family who have this spirit and this attitude that sort of defies the description of a very wealthy family. So they want to be aristocratic, but at the same time they're attracted to poets and writers and rebels, and that's the tension that I think is so important in the story.
Obviously you were invited to kind of read about the family. What was the favourite facts that you learnt about the Guinness family that you were happy to incorporate into the House of Guinness?
I mean, I entered the story with the reading of a will from Sir Benjamin Guinness, and he's got 4 kids, and he leaves behind lakes and castles and millions of pounds and land, and he manages to make everybody unhappy. So, I mean, how do you achieve that? So that's great.
Have you kind of like, from the making of this and the writing of it, have you started to appreciate the weight and the gravity of how Guinness is entwined with Ireland, and like appreciated what it means to their country?
It's a very important part of the Irish identity, but what's really remarkable is that it's international. So you can go to the US, you can go to Boston, you can go to London, and still feel the connection between Guinness and the people. So the people, you know, are going there and they're drinking the Guinness, but Guinness means something to a lot of people. So I find it a unique brand.
I think you captured it within the show too, but what is it about the Irish personality and culture which is so magnetic, which draws the rest of the world to this quite small isle?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I mean, I do this job because I love to write dialogue, and I love to write the way people talk. And for me, there is something very entertaining for me about writing Irish dialogue. It's got a bit of a poetry and a fluidity about it that I love to do.
And my final topic of conversation is surely, how's writing for Bond going? Is the script finished? Where are we?
I can't answer any questions about Bond at all, but I'm very excited.
I'm very excited for you as well. Honestly, congratulations on that. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate you. Are we ready? Hi. Welcome to London for the House of Guinness premiere.
I'm very happy to be here.
Please tell us, Jack, where you fit into the story of House of Guinness, because it's a very complicated tapestry I'm looking at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that Stephen Knight does so well, interlinking so many different strands and just in interesting ways. But my character, Byron Hedges, he positions himself in the family as a salesman, essentially, to begin with. So his mother was actually a wealthy Guinness family member, and his dad was in the Irish Republican Brotherhood, the IRB, and so he's able to sell Guinness to Irish Americans and to Americans in general through New York, through the IRB's connections. And he does very well because he has this sort of silver tongue and this charm. And and then he goes back to Dublin to help out with some political campaigns. So he's sort of a wheeler dealer. He's kind of a jack of all trades, a shapeshifter, chameleon. And it was just such a blast to play.
I was going to say, like you mentioned, a good way to describe him as a character with a silver tongue, and they're always the best characters to play, surely, because they get the best lines.
Oh, so good. And like, as someone that does not have a silver tongue, more of like a rubber charcoal tongue, I don't know how Stephen Knight does it, to be honest, but like, all of his characters are so fleshed out and three-dimensional, and Byron, I haven't actually spoken to him personally about it, but I feel like, I hope that he relished kind of writing Byron, because there are so many kind of delicious lines that I relished saying, basically. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
As an Irish man, we're looking ahead to, the House of Guinness is an Irish story, which is going to go on Netflix and therefore the international stage. Does that fill you with like excitement, nerves? Like, how do you feel like knowing that your, proud nation is on the world stage?
I mean, it's amazing in many ways. I suppose, like, there is a certain amount of fiction as well in the storyline. I mean, my character, Byron Hedges, wasn't real. I can't remember what exactly the title card says before every episode, inspired by true events sort of thing. So, if people want the real historical fact, they should probably read a history book or something. But this marries the two, fiction and truth, so well in a really entertaining way. And yeah, as you say, to represent this Irish story to such a wide audience is the dream. So yeah, I feel really lucky and privileged to be part of it.
This is a great cast, predominantly Irish cast, some English people in there as well, I know. But when it comes to like meeting your castmates, surely there's no better method than sitting down, going to the pub, having some Guinness. Is that essentially how it went, meeting people?
I wish. I mean, to be honest, I'm a bit of a lightweight. I feel like I don't want to be a wet blanket, but I kind of have a rule, like, if I'm filming the next day, I don't usually, even have like a half a pint, because it just goes straight to my head, and then I need to like sleep for 12 and a half hours. But yeah, we were filming mostly in Manchester and Liverpool, which obviously has amazing pubs, amazing Irish pubs. I know crack was had, but I was, being a goody two shoes, trying to get my
Fair
BBC.
play. Hey, we're all there to work, mate. At the end of the day.
Exactly.
Genuinely, I know that a while ago it was quite publicised that you retired from acting after Game of Thrones and everything.
Right.
But you're back with a bang. You've done so many projects over the last few years, which I'm so happy to see. Do you feel like back in the flow of things now? Is this like regular and stuff?
I mean, this does not feel regular. This feels surreal. I feel like I'm in a dream. Like, this is crazy. I've been to this cinema before, and it's so transformed. Anyway, I feel so lucky to be part of this show. A lot of pinch me moments, and this is one.
How about looking ahead then, like the more irons in the fire? What else have we got to be excited about for Jack?
Well, yeah, I mean, more recently I was in another Netflix show, The Sandman. I'm up for whatever, to be honest. I don't like to constrain myself by, saying I want to go down any kind of specific route. So, just looking forward to more adventures, and it'd be amazing to get a second season of House of Guinness. I'm fingers crossed, praying.
That was going to be my final question. I don't know how we end this series, but is this one that could be the next, hopefully bingeable show that we can pick up and watch?
I'd love that. I think that's Stephen's dream as well. So we just need to get that algorithm ticking over. We need people to watch it. But yeah, honestly, it's been such a dream role to play this character in this show. I would give anything to play it again in season 2. So I'd love that.
He's kind of the boss, and he's a bit of a gangster. He's not afraid to use violence to keep control. He does everything with a real twinkle, with a swagger. He's a lot of fun to play. I read it, and I have not played a role like this before, and I could tell Stephen had a lot of fun writing it. So yeah, he's quite unique, old Sean Rafferty.
I know you've played a lot of like fascinating characters before, but tell me about the pressure of being an Englishman, being in House of Guinness and playing the most dubs character amongst all of them. I heard you say he was the most dubs man you've ever read. How did you approach that?
Yeah, I mean, he of all the characters, Rafferty is probably the most dubs of them all. I mean, he's a working class man, he's self-made man, military background, definitely not part of the sort of higher classes of the Guinness family. So it was my responsibility to get the accent, and not only the accent, but the accent from the 1860s, which was quite a complicated thing. Luckily, I had an amazing dialect coach called Paul Musalides, who was just the best and gave me so much support and guidance. And the other cast members were there, kindly, constructively keeping me on the straight and narrow. But once I got it, once I nailed the accent, it was the most addictive thing. Because actually, I think the Irish, they have a real kind of sense of their own identity, and part of that is the accent, and it's really fun.
Yeah, can we put our finger on why it is that like the Irish people as a culture and as a personality are so magnetic? We as of the world are drawn to the Isle, aren't we?
I think there's no other country in the world who has such a sense of identity, as you say, and it kind of translates, it carries. You go anywhere in the world and you say, what is it to describe to me an Irish person? And they can, and they're gregarious, and they're fun, and they love music, and there's a rhythm, and there's a life to them. We've actually had this conversation on set, like, what is it about Ireland, about this small community which punches so far above their weight? I don't know, they don't take life too seriously. There's an incredible cultural heritage of music and art and poetry. Maybe it's the land, I don't know, literally the green hills of Ireland, the rain, I have no idea, but maybe it's Guinness. I mean, who knows? Chicken and egg, who was it? Is it Guinness who causes the energy, or is it the other way around? I don't know, but it was a wonderful privilege to be able to masquerade as an Irishman for this. It was a lot of fun.
I'll say, if I worked for them, I'd sign you up to the Irish Tourism Board. You just sold it wonderfully to us. Yeah, I want to book a flight now.
Nice.
Thanks so much for your time, appreciate it.
Cheers.
I play Benjamin Guinness, who's the middle son. He's the wayward child, the black sheep of the family. He's never really been considered to be an heir to the throne and be a part of the brewing business, so he kind of has to forge his own path, and he's battling a lot of demons on the way.
It's funny the phrasing you use there, because like it is sort of like a monarchy, the Guinness family, like the heir to the throne, the way you said it there. It is sort of like, I mean, this is putting words in your mouth, but the royal family of Ireland, you know what I mean? Like it's their monarchy.
Yeah.
It's strange, isn't it?
I know. I think what was so fascinating to me was that I was so aware of the brand and like all of the like imagery, and I grew up in Dublin, but I really didn't know anything about the family themselves. So I went through a huge education through like the medium of these fantastic scripts. So yeah, it was like a real treat to do that. And I guess I kind of see Dublin in a different light now. When I go back, I kind of look at all those places slightly differently, which is cool.
It's so the time period is so fascinating as well to watch. What part of like living in that 1860s world do you now romanticize? What did you really enjoy about being an 1860s character?
It's funny, I don't know if I romanticize it too much because it's such a complicated part of Irish history, and I think there's, I think something that again was something that just didn't cross my mind in a meaningful way, that which does now, is just how complicated that family's relationship with Irish culture and Irishness was. I guess if I had to romanticize, I mean, those buildings are like beautiful, and those sets, Richard Bullock did such a phenomenal job creating all of those sets. So I wouldn't mind living in that house, I guess. Yeah.
Let's wax lyrical about some of your co-stars, because there's fantastic performances across the board, aren't there? Who particularly took your breath away with some of their scenes and performances that you saw?
I think I have to mention Louis and Anto and Em straight away. We play the four children of Benjamin Guinness, and I just think, particularly thinking about Emily and Louis, their accents are phenomenally good. They're pitch perfect, and that's such a difficult accent to do. And also Jack Gleeson as Byron Hedges, I just think is so fantastic.
So I play Anne Plunket, who is the eldest sibling, and she's the only daughter in the family of the House of Guinness.
And describe her characteristics to me. Like everyone seems to have a very well fleshed out character as they come to it. Tell me about yours.
So Anne is really the matriarch of the family, and at the beginning of the show, she's given nothing in the will, so she's having to figure out what is she going to do with that. Is she just going to be a wife and a mother, or is she going to do more with her life?
And I spoke to Stephen in terms of, the starting points for this drama being the reading of a will, how 4 lives have changed forever. Were you excited when you read the first page of the script and then where it went on from there? Like, what was your reaction when you opened it up?
Yeah, I was so excited when I first read the scripts. I mean, I think it's a very interesting concept of getting absolutely nothing in a will. I think especially when you're used to so much wealth and privilege, to then suddenly have nothing and just be under control of your husband, it is a really interesting thing to happen to someone, and I think it's really cool where Anne goes from there and what she does with that.
Let's think about some of your castmates. I know your 3 brothers on screen. How did you guys form the connection that we see on screen? Did they feel like brothers by the end of the shoot?
They definitely felt like my brothers by the end of the shoot. I mean, it helped that we were all filming in Manchester and Liverpool together, so having a lot of pints of Guinness. So yeah, it was great.
At the end of the day, obviously, we're talking about Guinness every day. We're saying Guinness every day on set. End of the day, are you a bit Guinnessed out, or is that just not a possibility?
I don't like Guinness. I'm sorry. I love a lager.
Oh, tell me which one. What's your go-to?
Whatever's on draft. Probably a Peroni. Oh, nice. And I do like a shandy. I sound very scouse when I say a shandy, but I do love a shandy.
I know that a lot of it was filmed across Manchester and Liverpool. How do you think it did in terms of a substitute for the streets of Dublin and Ireland?
I mean, it's pretty, you couldn't really tell the difference. It's amazing. I mean, the whole production design team are just amazing. You've literally going down streets I've lived on and lived my whole life, and suddenly it's 1800s Dublin. It's amazing.
And I know that a lot of people signed up to the House of Guinness because Stephen Knight is the person who created it. What was your knowledge of his work in the past? Were you a fan, and was it a dream to get on board essentially because Stephen's attached to it?
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Stephen's. My boyfriend actually has a Peaky Blinders tattoo. So when I got the initial self-tape through, he was like, you have to do this. And I was like, I'm going to try my best.
Are we crossing our fingers for a second season of House of Guinness as well, and a third, and a fourth, and a fifth?
Definitely. I'll keep doing it forever.
Well, I play the fictional character of Aunt Agnes, who considers herself the matriarch of the family, who, like a true Victorian woman, is obsessed with reputation, and unfortunately for her, has inherited a younger generation of people who clearly have no compunction to do what she wishes, and that's the drama.
I love it. A bit of a power struggle from the off then.
Yeah, very much so. It's a really interesting part to play, and she's got a lot of humour and wit about her, which I really love.
As an Irish person, do you hear about the project, the House of Guinness, and instantly think, how can I get involved? Or do you need to know if it's any good first, I guess?
No, I was very lucky because years and years ago I did a job with the director Tom Shankland. He is the executive producer of the show, and he directed the first 2 episodes. Tom had seen me in a show and said Dervia would be perfect for this part. And then for many, many years I've watched the whole universes of the magnificent Stephen Knight. So to be a part of it it's extraordinary. It's extraordinary.
And let's sing about some of your co-stars then. You mentioned the 4 younger cast members who your character is kind of corralling around. Who were you particularly impressed by of this young generation of Irish actors?
This young generation of Irish actors are just thrilling. Not only are they highly talented, but they are genuinely lovely people. So that makes my job easy. They're extremely hardworking, they're very conscientious people, and they're tremendous fun. And that's a really important little ingredient in life. You've got to have fun at work, because after all, it's still work.
Oh, I mean, now I'm going to pry then. Tell me about the most fun that you had. Is there a memory that sticks out with you in the cast?
I cannot reveal the secrets of the fun that we've had. But it was a beautiful experience,
So I play Patrick Cochrane. He is the leader of the IRB, the Irish Republican Brotherhood in Dublin. The IRB made up Fionnism. So Fionnism was revolutionary nationalism. And the Fenians profoundly disagreed, even hated the Guinness family because they represented colonialism and the accumulation of wealth, things that the Irish poor were not benefiting from.
So to play kind of the adversary role, the antagonist, is that just delicious as an actor? You quite happy to be that combative, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, it's good fun. It's great fun, especially when you know and love the actors that you're being combative with. So like we had a lot of fun doing that. But I think in a story this big, this vast, it's important to tell that side of Irish history and that particular aspect of Irish opinion. And it really was a privilege to be the person that was allowed to do that.
It's funny to see that this is a Stephen Knight project who kind of a lot of people know as he's a proud Brummie, but this cast is full of proud Irishmen as well. Like, how do you think Stephen did telling this Irish story to the world?
No, I mean he was incredible. His script is very authentic. It's very sincere. It's very humane, and that's the main thing. I mean, Irishness is an idea, and it's an idea that has been exported all across the world. And that idea is available to anybody that wants to take it up. Stephen Knight, he's not from Ireland, he's proud Brummie, but he knows full well what that idea means, and I think he's communicated it beautifully.
Let's sing some praises of some of your castmates, because there's spectacular performances across the board from both Irish and British actors alike. Who took your breath away? Who made you stand up and say, wow, look at this guy, girl?
Louis Partridge, Anthony Boyle, Emily Fairn, Fionn McElhatton, Hilda Faye, Dervia, Kirwan.
Not let you hear.
He's
Anthony
a
Boyle,
dirty.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, how are you?
He's amazing.
It just
He's
feels
amazing.
weird when you hear your own name and not join the
You're
conversation.
so good.
You're so good.
You're so good.
This guy. This guy.
There's lots of people. There's Hilda Faye. There's McElhatton. There's Jessica Reynolds. There's I mean, everybody in it is actually at the top of their game. So it's going to be a joy to anywhere you look on the screen. It's going to be the best of the best work.
I love seeing that, because that probably answers this question. You know, you go hell for leather at each other, screaming at each other on set. At the end of the day, we're breaking bread. We're sharing a glass of Guinness, right?
Yeah. I mean, if only history were as simple as that, and it's a TV show that very much deals with history. So as much as I personally would like to, be moving forward peacefully, the characters that we're dealing with are big personalities, and those things are never going to end well.
Right, I want one of those.
When I tell you, I feel so poorly dressed today because he's getting so many compliments. With no logos, what is it?
No logos, no nothing. Not even black or white.
I did not get the assignment. I did not understand the assignment.
Guys, we gotta have a word.
Send your better
people down. Who is styling you? Because you gotta.
Oh, they want sacking.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the House of Guinness premiere in London. Please introduce ourselves and tell us where your character fits into the rich world of House of Guinness.
So Ellen is a trailblazer. She's a woman way ahead of her time who was part of the Irish Republican Brotherhood. So as a woman, she would have had to work twice as hard as anyone else, and she represents the heart and soul of the Irish nationalist movement, which really got that freedom going. It took a really, really long time for Ireland to be recognised as a whole state, and she's right there on the front lines of the political anarchy going on at that time and the political renaissance, as we could say, and she goes head to head with the Guinness family and so on and so forth. I won't spoil anything.
I can sense your enthusiasm. Everyone I'm talking to who is Irish is so excited to have this story and this show told and broadcast internationally. Is it extra excitement or extra pressure when you know that this is going to be such an Irish story we're sharing?
Yeah, I think there's always an extra added element of pressure as an actor to take on any role, and then obviously telling an Irish story. I think we just wanted to make sure we were doing right by our ancestors, and I think it actually aided us in acting and connecting with each other because we just really wanted to do a good job, and hopefully we did. So we'll leave it to the viewers.
I think it did massively. Obviously, we're all a fan of Stephen Knight, aren't we? All his stuff. Like when you hear that he's the creator of this show, do you think, how do I get involved? Or did you need to see the script and everything first? What were the things that you needed to know about House of Guinness before you actually did agree to do it, I guess?
I mean, it was a long audition process. I wish it was just a call from Stephen Knight now. It never happens like that. It was a long-winded process, months and months and months of hoping and praying that it would go my way. And I had booked the role and I'd only read 3 episodes. So I had no idea where Ellen's story would lead to, and it was just really surprising to find out that direction that Stephen took it with. It was really, really cool.
Let's wax lyrical about some of your co-stars. Like, there's some fantastic performances. Who took your breath away on set? Who were you particularly impressed by?
I mean, Seamus O'Hara plays my brother. I mean, we just had such a beautiful dynamic that it felt like we had known each other our whole lives. I think it was really important with creating that sibling dynamic on set, and it was super, super easy to be that vulnerable and relaxed with him. So I was really, really grateful for his support on set.
Amazing. And for yourself, professionally, after House of Guinness, or anything else we want to look out for? Anything you want to sing about and spread the good word
I
about?
don't think I'm allowed to talk about anything. I wish I could, and I'm
Too
really
many
bad.
NDAs.
I'm really bad at keeping secrets, so I'm gonna not do that today.
That was a test, and you just
It was
passed
a test and I passed it. Thank
spectacularly.
God. Thank God.
Enjoy tonight. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you
your time.
so much.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Cheers. There's
Very
lots
exciting.
of Guinness downstairs.
Thank God. Now
As
I'm at
there
peace.
should be. Yes,
Now
exactly.
my nerves are gone.
Please tell us about your character. Where does the lady fit into the story of House of Guinness?
Lady Olivia Charlotte Hedges White, to give her full title. She's an aristocrat, but unfortunately she is asset rich, but cash poor. So she kind of comes in as a wild card option on the list of possible marriage alliances for Arthur. So she's very strategic, very pragmatic, very much sees it as a business opportunity, very symbiotic. She gets cash and he gets a noble title. And then she starts kind of just living life to the full, a hedonist to her core, and starts to really cause some problems for the Guinnesses. So
Sounds like just the best character to play.
honestly, an absolute gift. Like Stephen wrote a woman that is so fully formed, so multifaceted, and such a joy to play. Like really irreverent, really devilish, So yeah, to be able to get to explore all of that side of one's personality is really a gift. And then the journey that she goes on really finds her in a place completely polar opposite to where we meet her in episode 3. So you get to really dig into like a wealth of human experience as well. So yeah, I feel very blessed.
That's so wonderful. Obviously the story House of Guinness is essentially it's ingrained in the roots of Ireland. Like Guinness has shaped Ireland as we see today. As an Irish person, does that fill you with pressure or excitement that we're showing this story to the world?
Well, my mum always says that excitement and nerves are the same emotion, it's just what you call them. So I would say I'm terrified, but she would say you're probably excited. I think I'm just very proud. I think to get to be at these premieres is very rare anyway for me. So to be here playing an Irish character, doing an Irish accent with a wealth of Irish talent is not somewhere I ever thought I'd be when I started acting. So yeah, I'm really just trying to soak it up. Yesterday in the middle of press, I kind of felt like I was trying to hold on to the day, like holding on to water in your hand a little bit. So yeah, I'm just trying to be present and enjoy it, I guess.
I'm so excited for you. And let's think about some of your castmates. Who were you most impressed by to share a scene? Who really took your breath away?
Oh, it's so hard to choose one. I think all of them for so many different reasons. Most of my scenes were with Anthony Boyle and James Norton and Queen Dervia Kirwan. I've been watching her for years and I've always kind of had her on a pedestal. So then to meet her and for her to be so grounded and sound and empathetic and generous. And I think when you watch the choices that she makes in the moments when she makes them, I find that just addictive. And then Anthony is just so transformative, so brave, so again generous and surprising. And then James and I got to go on this whole journey with our characters where we had to really rely on each other to transform and really sell a love story. And his body of work speaks for itself, you know what I mean? I've been also watching him for a very long time, so it was a bit of a pinch me moment, and he makes me feel very safe and very valued as a cast member, so you're able to make brave choices, I guess.
Well, what's funny with James is that he's one of the few English actors coming into this Irish world. He's stepping into your territory,
exactly. Yeah.
I think he said himself he played the most dubs character, the most dubs man in the cast.
Yeah.
How did he step into that role? How do you think he did as a dubs person?
Incredible. I think when you see the work that he did, the specificity, I said something in a radio interview the other day talking about listening to the work that he did on the accent, because there's a very specific tongue placement for an inner city Dublin accent or a working class Dublin accent. So I was just talking about watching him and how specific he was. It doesn't sound great, but it was purely speaking about the work. So it was really impressive. I think as well in terms of Stephen and Tom and Munia, when I watched the first couple of episodes, I was just so grateful, like James as well, that our heritage was treated with such integrity and all the characters have a great dignity, and I was really grateful to see that.
So I play a character called John Potter, who is the butler to the Guinnesses. The Guinnesses at the time were the wealthiest family in Ireland, so I guess he's doing pretty well in the butler stakes. He's top butler. And he has been with the family for generations, and he's been there 40 years. The father's dead, the brothers take over, there's the change of regime, and he knows a lot of secrets, he knows a lot of things, and he's always kind of floating around, He knows where the bodies are buried, as the phrase goes.
So a very valuable person to keep around, keep on side.
Indeed. But equally they could, dispense with them, but yeah.
Hey, as an Irish man, as an Irish actor, you hear about the project House of Guinness. Are you instantly yes, I'm in, I want to be a part of that? Or are you let's see how you guys do it first. Like, were you a bit protective over the brand of House of Guinness before we come into it?
No, well, I mean, I guess the first name bar Guinness was Stephen Knight's name, so obviously a huge fan there. And Netflix were doing it, and the production company Kudos, who have fantastic credentials. And then when you read the scripts, it was like, you know, it flew off the page. It had such pace and such energy. You know, and it was a wonderful character that you felt you could do a lot with, and he gives you these little gems, you know. So it was a joy, yeah.
I know that most of this was filmed in England and parts of Wales as well. How was it, you know, in your expert opinion, as a substitute for parts of Ireland? Are we going to be amazed by what we see on
I shall
screen?
leave that up to the general public to do. I mean, I think it looks amazing. They've had to do CGI on certain buildings and things like that, obviously. But it is an incredibly beautiful looking show, and there are some inaccuracies, but I really think you'd be nitpicking if you did that.
Obviously, I know that you've been in a lot of like kind of period pieces or even fantasy, with say Game of Thrones, but what is it about, say, filming something in the 1860s which you particularly love? Like, was there a prop or something you're like, oh, I love that, that's so neat?
No, well, funny enough, this is like set in the 1860s, and I've just finished a film that was set in the 1860s in North Carolina, and I said to the producer, I think, you know, find yourself a century, you know, you like, and stay in it, really. And that seems to be what I'm doing. The gear is pretty good.
When it got to the end of the day, actually, you as a cast, were you like, if I see another pint of Guinness, or were you still consumed at the end of the day and everything?
No. Yeah, we were drinking Guinness all day long. No, it is incredible when you start doing the show and you just see that name everywhere. Like, it is literally everywhere you go. People's hats, people's t-shirts, and shop fronts. It's incredible, the brand.
That's on my cameraman's t-shirt right now, you know, you can't get
there
away.
We go. Well. And you didn't even know you were doing this tonight. Sorry, what was the question?
And finally, from me then as well, let's think about some of your co-stars as well. Who are you particularly impressed by as scene partners from the House of Guinness?
I have to say, I've been so impressed with this young Irish cast, predominantly. They're all absolutely phenomenal. And I think there is something kind of a watershed moment. I think in TV, often Americans or English actors play. We have so many Irish stars now, and this is a new generation coming up. I think every one of them is just fantastic. Yeah,
I massively
absolutely.
agree with you. I looked at the cast list and I looked at the names, and like, you can just tell they're on the precipice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're all fantastic. So all of them, it was a joy working with all of them.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I appreciate you enjoyed tonight as well.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So I'm on Skelly and I play Adelaide Guinness, who is a cousin of the Guinness siblings, which you will meet tonight. Her nickname is Dodo. Still don't know why. Would love your thoughts. But I think I really fell in love with her because she's a very independent character. She loves her independence above all. She is quite rebellious. She's very sharp and intelligent, and she comes into, I think you meet her in episode 4, and she adds a lot of complication to some characters' stories. She ruffles some feathers, and she also, I think, she's good friends with Anne, and they are really passionate about the philanthropy aspect of the Guinness business empire.
Obviously, I know that you guys filmed a lot of this across parts of England and in Liverpool predominantly as well. You must surely be an expert of sorts. How does it stand as a substitute for the streets of Dublin in 1860?
Actually quite well, yeah. I was actually blown away by it. I've been to Liverpool a few times, once for a friend's wedding, and Manchester as well, and we filmed some really beautiful scenes in Wales. So I think like Ireland and England in certain aspects just have a lot of similarities in, the drama of the landscapes, in particular with Wales and Ireland, I think have some similarities, and the beautiful kind of traditional looking streets of Liverpool and Manchester were very good substitutes because we couldn't film in Dublin.
Let's wax lyrical about some of your castmates. Who were you particularly impressed by in some of the scenes that you were sharing with your co-stars?
Well, I have to say, like, when I was watching the show, Danielle Galligan, she really just blew me away. Do you know when you're friends with someone and you actually were like, fucking hell, like you're kind of a genius. So I'm really, really excited for everyone to see her work. She's really like, I can't, my partner is like sick of me talking about her, and so she's sick of me talking about her to her. But I got to work with Fionn O'Shea again, who's a really good friend of mine. We got to dance together, which was very special. And Dervia Curran always made me laugh, which was actually very annoying.
Obviously I know that it's predominantly an Irish cast as well, which is like, good, that's authentic. There's one exception, that being James Norton, who's playing like probably the most dubbed person of the cast as well. How did he do in terms of accents? What do you reckon?
He was really good, and I think the thing about James is he was nervous about it, which I liked. Yeah, so it's good to see James Norton nervous, but he did a really exceptional job. Emily Fairn is also from Liverpool, and so she plays, you know, an Irish accent as well, and she does a perfect job. Same with Louis as well. He's like gets an Irish accent perfect too. So it is kind of stunning the amount of work and attention that they've all put into it, and I think Irish people have actors very scared to do the accent as they should be, but they did a great job.
It's a big undertaking. Finally from me then, we're here, we're finally, your friends and family are going to see House of Guinness. What are we telling people? Why should they watch House of Guinness?
Well, I knew this when I read the scripts, and it's such a relief when I watch the show, because I was like, this is something, I just knew that this was something my family would love to watch even if I wasn't in it or had nothing to do with it. So I just wanted to be in it so badly, because it would be a real point of pride, you know. My great granddad worked in the Guinness factory, so yeah, it's a very personal thing, it feels like. So it's in your blood. Yeah, Guinness is in my blood. But I think it's just something they're going to love. Like, you just know that the dialogue, the characters are mad, they don't shy away from the political backdrop of Ireland, which is very complicated and a very long history. So I think that's quite daunting, but they even do the famine a beautiful justice, which I kind of feel like there's just not enough work out there with that. So I'm really excited about it. I think it does a really good justice of the complicatedness of Ireland.
So I play Henry Grattan Guinness, who is a cousin of the main Guinness family, sort of in the position of an uncle, the older generation. And he's a real character. He was an evangelical preacher at the time, and a very famous preacher. He was like the Billy Graham of his day. And in our story, his missionary work has been funded by the Guinness money. But he's nervous, quite rightly as it turns out, that when the patriarch dies, that money's going to stop coming. So his job is to persuade the Guinness children to keep the money coming. And if that doesn't work, to use a little bit of other sorts of pressure.
Well, I think what's fascinating about the show is, as you just described, as like political intrigue, some like, you know, backhanded payoffs and everything. Like, there's a lot more, I guess, drama and deceit than we would have assumed from the story of what we all know to just be a beer, right?
Absolutely, yeah. But I think what we really have to understand is how big a business it was, just quite how much money there was, quite how far the Guinness family was entangled with the politics and society of the day between Dublin and London, and just their tentacles reached everywhere. And once you start digging into those stories and those characters, there just is so much material there and so much scope, as you say, for that political skullduggery and the commercial double dealing, never mind the personal intrigue with the family.
As an Irish man, do you hear about the project House of Guinness and be like, how can I get on board? Or was there any trepidation, like, are they doing it right? What did you need to know about the project before you came on board?
What I needed to know about the project before I came on board was that Stephen Knight was writing it, and that was me sold, really. And Tom Shankland as director too. Those names just, they sell the project to you before you've even read the script. Once I'd read the script, what really excited me about it, as an Irish actor, you kind of get resigned that you're not really going to get into the period drama game, because those stories so often on screen told are English. So what's exciting to me about this is to see the Irish being the ones with the power and the money, as classy as you like, as rich as you like, wearing the great clothes and moving and shaking in society. You know, there's so many Irish stories that haven't been told on screen, and so to open up that world in this way is very exciting.
It's so wonderful, as you say, like, to show these Irish stories to an international stage, particularly through like the scope of Guinness, something we see to be like very entwined in each other's history and culture. Do you think that Guinness as a culture and a family have shaped Ireland that we know today?
I'm sure Guinness has shaped Ireland in ways I am aware of and I'm not aware of. It's such a global brand. It's such so synonymous with Ireland in so many parts of the world. What's fantastic about this show is people might choose, anywhere in the world, people might choose to watch it just because of that brand and because of that name. But what they'll find then is a way into all sorts of aspects of Irish history and the history of business and the Victorian culture, that whole world just opening out for them, and it's really exciting to think that people who've never thought much about Irish history will begin to get an insight through this show.
And finally from me, let's sing the praises of some of your co-stars. Who particularly impressed you on set who you'd not previously worked with before?
Well, I had actually worked with a couple of the cast before. I'd worked with Anthony Boyle before, and it was great to re-encounter him. I must say I was really excited to work with Louis Partridge, who is a terrific young talent and brought all that professionalism to the set. The whole team, really, you know, there wasn't a false note there when I was there. It was just such a, you know, as an Irish actor, when a project like this comes up, you just hope there's something for you, a way for you to slot into it. And I'm so excited that I'm on board and just part of such a terrific ensemble.
I'm the composer for House of Guinness, and I write all the music apart from the famous songs that are in it. And so my job is to describe the emotional story of the characters.
And I will admit, the last time I spoke to you was about a year ago for the Christopher Reeve documentary, which you did a fantastic job with.
Thank you.
This is very tonally different, isn't it? What was your briefing when you came into this, and you're obviously telling the emotional stories of these characters? What kind of information did you know about the story, and how do you start to unfold the task ahead of you, I guess?
Well, I'd worked with Tom, the director of this, before, so we immediately had a shorthand and started talking about it very early on. I went up to Manchester where they were filming for the first read-through with all of the actors, and it's wonderful when you get brought into a project early because you get to really feel the essence of what the project is. And we just started throwing ideas around, and I'm grateful to this team. They really trust me, and they just let me go on a crazy ride and experiment, and as a result the score is this insane mishmash. It comes from Irish folk music. We used a lot of Irish folk instruments, but it's mashed up with punk rock guitars from the famous Irish band Ash. I worked with Tim Wheeler from that band doing guitars, and this amazing vocalist called Wolf, who has a very unusual voice. You know, if we were just doing it traditionally, it might have just been a choir, but layering Wolf's vocals created this really unusual sound world. And so, and then there's a synths, you know, that you would find in electronic dance music tracks driving it through. So it's a wild mishmash of different things. I can't wait for people to hear the album as well as see the show.
Oh, me too. And you mentioned that you kind of incorporated traditional Irish folk music, gave it a twist. But with that, I guess, comes like obviously a lot of fiddles, a lot of string instruments. Were there like traditional Irish instruments that you incorporated and used in the score which you've never really worked with before? Like, did this open doors for you? Yeah, well, Olean pipes I hadn't really worked with before. And then with we did have an Irish fiddle playing, but actually in the end most of the violins, and me, I was a violinist originally, and but I haven't played for years, so I'm not very good, but that was perfect for giving it this slightly off-kilter, drunken pub vibe, and it was brilliant just for me to, I love performing, but to re-engage with my childhood roots and play the violin again, that was really fun. Congratulations on incorporating your fiddling into the story as well. Tell us about the album, which is going to have like is it a physical release, is it a vinyl release, or is it all going to be streaming online? How are soundtracks for these things released these days? Well, it's an online release. Depending on how popular it is, maybe we'll get a vinyl release. I hope so, fingers crossed. But it's the album is really captures all the folk songs that we used, but also all the original material and the combination of all the different instruments I've been talking about, the folk instruments with the punk rock guitars, with the amazing vocals. It's I'm really proud of it because it's unusual, and I think it's a really a standout voice in the show.